Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Department of Education Partners Convergence. Today, we gather to celebrate and appreciate the milestones achieved in our partnerships with various organizations and individuals who share our mission of providing quality basic education for all Filipinos. To formally open this event, let us hear a welcome message from none other than the Mayor of the City of Manila, Honorable Maria Sheila Honrado Hani Lacuna Panga.
The Honorable Vice President and Education Secretary, Sara Duterte, Their Excellencies, Ambassadors of various countries to the Philippines, our international and local partners from the private sector, national and local governments, non-government organizations, fellow public servants, good morning and mabuhay. We welcome you today in this Partners Convergence of the Department of Education, and we would like to express our deepest appreciation for your presence and participation in this very significant event. This is part of the commitment of the Department of Education, which is to ensure access for all our children to quality education with the intention of forging partnerships with organizations and institutions that share the same goal. Hosting this convergence in the country's capital is both a privilege and a challenge. We have been responsive to the Department of Education's call for innovation, support, and assistance highlighted in the recent pandemic. We piloted initiatives for the continued blended distance learning and now the Learning Continuity and Recovery Plan. In this flight, we cannot do this alone. Partners made us realize our potential, deliver our mandate, and be of service to our constituents. We might have perennial concerns in the education sector that has been a problem already since the time of our forefathers, yet we continue to be resilient and we strive with collaborative efforts so we can surpass any challenge along the way. May this convergence be a jump start to a more productive and sustainable partnership among us towards a better education for the entire nation. I hope that the presentation to be laid out this morning will allow us to work in a common direction. Rest assured that the Manileños will always be as supportive as ever in the pursuit of quality education and excellence. Thank you once again. Welcome po kayo sa Maynila.
Thank you, Mayor Hani Lacuna Pangan, for welcoming us to this momentous occasion. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Director General Jeremy Barnes for allowing the Department of Education to use the National Museum of Natural History as the venue for the Department of Education Partners Convergence. It is truly an honor to hold such a significant event in a stunning and prestigious location. As we move along, it is but befitting to say that our event for today is indeed a culmination of the collaborative efforts among the partners of the Department of Education. Specifically, these past few months have been very productive in crafting a menu of interventions for partner support as we work together to improve basic education in our country. Partnership with our international, local, and local government partners is truly vital in achieving our education goals. As such, let us now hear from our partners who have sent their messages of support through video presentations. First, we will listen to the message of Her Excellency, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of the Philippines of the United States of America, Mary Kay L. Carlson, followed by the message of the President and Chief Executive Officer of Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated, Mr. Sabine M. Aboitiz, and the President of the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, National Chairman of the League of Provinces of the Philippines, and the Governor of the Province of Quirino, Honorable Dakila Carlo E. Cua.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. It is an honor to join you today to highlight the United States' continued commitment to working with our Filipino partners to improve the quality of basic education here in the Philippines. The United States and the Philippines share the goal of ensuring equitable access to quality education for all learners. For decades, our partnership with the Philippine government, the private sector, and academia has laid a strong foundation to help the next generation gain the skills they need to succeed. Through the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, we have partnered with the Department of Education to improve early grade reading and numeracy skills, strengthen education governance, align research and curricula with industry demands, and provide educational opportunities and work-based training to out-of-school youth. We commend the work of the Department of Education, led by Vice President and Secretary of Education Sara Duterte. The launch of DepEd's new education agenda, Matatag, puts a premium on improving the learning system as well as safeguarding the well-being of students. The U.S. government believes that education is a fundamental human right and a key driver of individual and national prosperity. As such, we have committed about 2.8 billion pesos, or 50 million US dollars, over the next 5 years under our current bilateral agreement with DepEd, and we have aligned our programming to support 4 U.S. priorities in the education sector. First, we are partnering with DepEd to make the curriculum relevant for Filipino learners. Through our ABC Plus project, we will continue to strengthen the country's literacy and numeracy programs, especially in the foundational years. We are thrilled to partner with DepEd in establishing the National Reading Program, the National Math Program, and the Learning Camp. These programs will help all Filipino students gain essential building blocks for future learning. Second, we are working with DepEd to accelerate the delivery of basic education services. Our Opportunity 2.0 project enhances the governance and management of DepEd's alternative learning system programs. We are also supporting the development of corresponding operational manuals for teachers and DepEd field officials. Third, we are partnering with DepEd to promote inclusive education. Through our Gabay project, we are helping deaf and deafblind learners gain access to education, and we're supporting the development of the Filipino Sign Language curriculum. And fourth, we are working with DepEd to train teachers so they, in turn, can better equip students with the skills they need to succeed. For example, in partnership with the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, we have designed and implemented training programs for teachers on topics such as language learning and differentiated reading instructional techniques. We recognize that these interventions alone are not enough, however. Addressing education challenges calls for urgent and collective action. By working together, the international community represented in this forum can leverage our respective strengths and expertise to maximize our impact and ensure that every child in the Philippines can learn and succeed. As your friend, partner, and ally, the U.S. government looks forward to continuing and expanding our collaboration with DepEd, international development education partners, local government units, the private sector, as well as with parents and communities. Together, we can ensure Filipino learners have access to a quality, equitable, inclusive, and complete education. I look forward to what we will accomplish collaboratively in the years ahead. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay.
Greetings to everybody at the Department of Education's Partners Convergence. I bring you a message of sincere admiration and support from the Aboitiz Group. The Department of Education's dedication to resolving the learning crisis in our country is commendable, and we are all here today to echo that same commitment. We recognize the massive task at hand, but we also acknowledge the promising horizon that lies ahead as we unite to elevate the quality of basic education across our country. The Aboitiz Group's commitment to improving the Filipino quality of life extends naturally to education. We are deeply inspired by your Matatag education agenda, and we see it as a blueprint of transformation that we are eager to contribute to. We see our role as a partner, working hand in hand with you in materializing this vision. Our educational initiatives within the Aboitiz Foundation will align with the DepEd's priorities. In our commitment to nurture future-ready learners, we understand the need to focus on teachers' capacity building, learning continuity amid challenges, and inclusive access to quality education. We promise to leverage our resources, capabilities, and extensive network to catalyze positive change in these areas. We shall further our efforts in powering up the last mile schools and providing tech and equipment for learning environments that are conducive to fostering critical thinking, creativity, and resilience. And simultaneously, we're keen to support the STEM-focused programs that develop problem solvers for the future. We remain true to our promise of advancing business and communities. Education is one of the most powerful catalysts of change, and we're more than willing to facilitate that change alongside with it. As we embark on this collaborative journey, let us remember that each step that we make contributes to shaping the minds and lives of millions of young Filipinos. Our combined efforts can bring about an educational system that not only prepares our children for the challenges of the world, but also inspires them to change it for the better. In the Aboitiz Group, you have a partner who shares your passion for education, a partner dedicated to uplifting the lives of every Filipino. And together, we can make a difference and shape a better future. So thank you, and let's move forward united in our purpose.
First, I would like to greet our Vice President, Sara Duterte, officials of the Department of Education, the esteemed ambassadors, and my colleagues from the local governments, the official development assistance partners, private sector partners, civil society organizations, and oversight agencies that enable us to create an education ecosystem that thrives. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Department of Education for inviting us to this esteemed gathering of DepEd's partners. As we converge here today, we recognize the significance of linkage, leveraging, and learning to improve our shared goal of improving the quality of basic education. Linkage is essential in establishing meaningful connections between stakeholders in the education sector. It is through collaboration and partnership that we can address the multifaceted challenges facing our education system. By fostering strong links between government agencies, LGUs, private sector partners, CSOs, and oversight agencies, we can create a network of support that empowers our education ecosystem. We recognize the vital role that stakeholders such as yourselves play in improving education. Leverage is another critical aspect of our journey towards education excellence. By leveraging our resources, expertise, and innovative solutions, we can magnify the impact of our initiatives. This includes harnessing the potential of technology, engaging in public-private partnership, and tapping into the expertise of international development partners. And by doing so, we can maximize the benefits and outcomes of our collective efforts. Learning lies at the heart of our shared goal. It is our duty to provide quality education that equips our students with the necessary skills, knowledge, and values to thrive in an ever-evolving world. However, learning is not limited to our students alone. As leaders, educators, and advocates, we must commit ourselves to lifelong learning and continuous improvement. We must be open to new ideas, research, and best practices that can elevate the quality of education that we provide. Education is a cornerstone of progress and development. It holds the key to empowering our people, building a stronger society, and shaping a brighter future. Together, we have witnessed the transformative power of education and its profound impact on the lives of our children and our communities. I stand here today as a testament to this commitment of local governments in aligning our plans and programs with DepEd's priorities and agenda as enshrined in the Matatag Agenda. The Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, or ULAP, along with other local government leagues, stand united in its commitment to fostering a conducive environment for learning. We recognize the need to enhance infrastructure, provide adequate resources, and cultivate an ecosystem that nurtures holistic development of our learners. Our partnership with DepEd extends beyond the mere rhetoric. It is rooted in the action and genuine dedication. I would like to express our gratitude once again for this opportunity to address such a distinguished gathering. On behalf of the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, I am Dax Tua, thanking you, and may our partnership flourish as we continue to champion the cause of education together. Maraming salamat at mabuhay.
May we call Undersecretary Michael Wesley T. Poa to introduce our keynote speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines and the Secretary of the Department of Education, Sara Z. Duterte.
Thank you. You may take your seat. Your Excellencies, Honorable Secretaries, Honorable Governors and Mayors, our partners from the private sector and international organizations and agencies, distinguished guests, fellow Filipinos, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum, madayaw o maayong adlaw kaninyong tanan, magandang araw sa inyo lahat. In January, the Department of Education presented the Matatag Agenda, Bansang Makabata, Batang Makabansa. The agenda detailed the department's solutions to the problems that have become inherent in our basic education system for so long. They are already almost part of the country's education DNA. There have been revolutionary reforms to address these systemic problems in the past, but we continue to be shadowed by the issues left unsuccessfully fixed despite earnest efforts by the previous administrations to fix them. There is no denying that many of these problems are deeply ingrained in our basic education system, and some are deeply rooted in the reprehensible culture of corruption searing through the future of our learners. The Matatag Agenda hopes to stop the bleeding. Today, I am grateful for your presence and participation in the discussion of the progress and challenges we have encountered in the implementation of the agenda. At the same time, your presence and participation today are a confirmation of your undying commitment to the reforms we have envisioned together for our country's basic education. And most importantly, your presence and participation today is a declaration of your concern for the future of Filipino children. This is a future that is latched onto education. And as our leaders and stakeholders, as parents, we should be constantly reminded, day and night, all the time, of our task to ensure the future of our children. This is formidable, yes, but today, this is the reason why we are all here, to make the formidable unformidable. The administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has committed to upholding basic education, and this can be seen through its current funding efforts. In 2023 General Appropriations Act, the education sector received the highest budget with approximately 800 billion. Out of this, the Department of Education received approximately 600 billion for basic education. However, these national budget allocations for basic education are not enough to cover all the requirements needed in achieving our agenda. Thus, partners and stakeholders who share our commitments are essential to delivering quality, inclusive, adaptive, resilient, and future-ready basic education for our 28 million Filipino learners across the nation. First, we have our partner local government units. LGUs supplement funding for basic education through the Special Education Fund. The SEF represents 1% of the LGU's assessed value of real properties. They are mandated by law to allocate this funding for the development of basic education in their area. The SEF allows expenditures for operations and maintenance of public schools, construction, and repair of school buildings, facilities and equipment, educational research, purchase of books and periodicals, and sports development. We also receive official development assistance, or ODA, either through loans or grants from various international development partners. These partnerships have allowed us to implement innovative programs that have had a positive impact on our education system. These include technical assistance, learning materials and other resources, infrastructure and facilities, capacity building and systems development, among others. We greatly appreciate your continued efforts in supporting our basic education sector. At this point, let me thank the Government of Australia, Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the Asian Development Bank, the United States government through the United States for International Development under its ABC Plus project for supporting today's partners, Convergence, and supporting the preliminary activities leading to today's partners, Convergence. We also acknowledge the support extended to us by the embassies of foreign countries based in the Philippines. Daghang salamat kaninyong tanan. My meetings with our officials have often centered on education and the importance of having educated citizens in nation building. The input we receive during our meetings are truly valuable and are appreciated. We hope to continue forging partnerships that promote quality education for all. In June, I will be visiting Brunei, Darussalam, and Singapore as part of my tenure as president for the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, or SIMEO. Hopefully, we will be able to learn from the two countries' best practices in the area of education and the other SIMEO member countries. Equally instrumental in advancing our basic education sector are our local partners. These partners include private organizations, non-governmental organizations, and other civil society groups. Their contributions to our cause are invaluable, and we commend their dedication to improving the lives of Filipinos. In the past 2 months, DepEd gathered representatives of our ODA partners to align their programs to the Matatag agenda. Our ODA partners provided insights and suggestions for regions that may need more programs, and they identified the key areas into which partners can provide their technical assistance. Our local partners also expressed their support to reinforce the Matatag agenda by renewing their commitments to providing relevant assistance to the DepEd.
These include measures to improve access to education, enhance teacher training, boost wellness and nutrition, and promote technology integration in the classroom. Let me therefore take this opportunity to present to you the list of priority interventions that support the Matatag agenda. For finance, capacity building on employees' loan management system and financial literacy programs for DepEd personnel and learners. For school infrastructure and facilities, construction or rehabilitation, building disaster-resilient schools, retrofitting classrooms, and electrification programs, as well as connectivity programs. For administration, digitization of forms, enhancement of existing systems, and assistance for its parametric and indemnity insurance for public schools. For curriculum and teaching, strengthening the literacy and numeracy programs, reviewing the mother tongue-based multilingual education, digitizing national assessments, strengthening inclusive education programs, and inclusive teaching approaches, among others. For human resources and organizational development, development of quality assurance effectiveness, upscaling of the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, and knowledge sharing from the partners in their expertise as their priority programs for interventions. For operations, provision of mobile medical and dental clinics, enhanced school-based feeding program, learner rights and protection mechanisms, mental health program, learner and youth program development, and the Farm-to-Table Nutrition Project of DepEd as the main programs of the agency promoting learner welfare, as stated in the agenda. And lastly, for procurement, technical assistance in improving the procurement processes of the department through continuous capacity building and digitalization. As we work towards the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in basic education, we must acknowledge that no organization or government can achieve them alone. We need strong partnerships that involve all actors, including the private sector, civil society, and local communities. Let's work together to prioritize our interventions in education, including increasing the number of quality teachers, ensuring that our school facilities are adequate, and providing access to modern technologies that will enhance the learning experience of our students. It is true that the pandemic has heavily disrupted the education system, but the disruption has also given us a chance to pay more attention, evolve, and innovate our education system. As the Vice President and Secretary of Education, I strongly encourage the private sector to join hands with the government and our development partners to ensure that we can achieve our objectives in education. It is important to note that this convergence is not just about the exchange of ideas, but also about action. The discussions and collaborations that happen during the preliminary activities and convergence of partners should translate into concrete projects and programs for the benefit of the communities we serve. With the help of our partners, we can provide alternative ways of learning and develop lifelong learning skills which will enable students to learn in the safety of their homes especially during emergencies and disruptions. Through the agenda, the matatag agenda, our learners will recognize that true learning is an ongoing process and they never stop growing and developing as individuals. They will remain committed to continuous self-improvement and self-reflection, finding ways to improve and expand their own knowledge and skills so they can better support those around them. Being matatag means cultivating resilience, perseverance, and determination, not only in their own studies, but also in supporting others who may be struggling or disadvantaged. Our matatag learners will be the pillars of strength and stability for their fellow learners, providing a steady hand to guide them through the ups and downs of their educational journey. And these learners will define the future of the Philippines. May today's generation strive to be empathetic, compassionate, and understanding towards others, and to be open-minded and respectful of diversity in all forms. Let us give Filipino children a chance to compete on an equal playing field with the rest of the world. They are the future, and investing in their education today will bring great benefits to our country in the years to come. We greatly appreciate the support we have received from our partners and stakeholders, but we also recognize the challenges we still face in achieving our goals. It is encouraging to see our passion to work together towards a common objective. I commend all the participants who have come together today from different organizations with a shared goal of improving the lives of learners and people in developing communities. To be a matatag partner means to be strong and unwavering in the face of challenges and adversity. It means being steadfast in our dedication to learning and growth of our Filipino learners and acknowledging the essential role that teamwork and solidarity play in achieving these goals. Thus, to say, matatag partner ako is to proclaim our unwavering dedication to the values of education, collaboration, and unity. As matatag partners, we recognize that education is not just about the academic achievements, but it's also about personal growth and building character and developing life skills. And ultimately, to be a matatag partner means to be part of something greater than ourselves. To be part of a movement that has the power to transform lives and communities. It means collaborating, learning, and growing together towards our shared goal of creating a better world through education. I urge you to sign the commitment, board, and be a matatag partner. Your assistance, shared knowledge, and expertise, and partnerships can transform our learners to become better citizens. Let us stand firm in our commitment to building resilient communities of learners para sa isang bansang makabata at mga batang makabansa. Ang lahat para sa Diyos, sa bayan, at sa pamilyang Pilipino. Shukran.
Thank you so much, Vice President and Secretary Sara Z. Duterte. Your insights have provided us with a clearer picture of the state of education in our country and have given us a